Hey bitch, today we're talking about incels. What the hell is an incel? Girl, I didn't know, but we've all experienced one. Let's talk about it. An incel is a member of an online community of young men, if you want to call them men, who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually. Their views are associated with violence and typically hostile toward women because women won't have sex with them. And they wonder why we won't. Let's talk about it. Where does an incel originate from? So, the term incel became well known from the following of Elliot Rogers' 2014 killing spree in California. This man killed people because women wouldn't have sex with him. So, before the murders, Roger left a video and a manifesto type autobiographical account detailing his involuntary celibacy, which is the long term for incel, which is where the root of the word comes from. So let's discuss what an incel is. The worldview of an incel is based on the belief that a person's attractiveness is predetermined by genetic factors. So basically, if your genetics suck, you're never going to get head. Basically. You're never going to have sex, you're a loser forever because of your genetics. This dictates that physical appearance being what studies find to be the main features that women find attractive to men. So basically, if your parents are short and you're a man and you are short, then women won't be attracted to you, therefore you won't have sex. Involuntarily. Those who consider themselves to be incel believe they are doomed to a life of involuntary celibacy. So basically, if you consider yourself an incel, you are just blaming it on anything other than your own personality and self. You don't have self-worth enough to make yourself a better person for women to find you attractive and have sex with you. Celibacy is abstaining from marriage and sexual relations. So to be involuntary of celibacy means you have no other choice to blame your looks on the reason you aren't getting married and nobody will have sex with you. So are incels extremists, and is this an extremist view? Communities online known as the manosphere are run by anti-women incel ideology, which over time have shown increasingly violent views toward women and leading people to wonder if incel ideology is an extremist one. Incel ideology exhibits all the indications of an extremist ideology, such as in-and-out groups, crisis solution narratives, and basic traits in extremist ideology, which you can find in white supremacy and groups like Al-Qaeda. So are incels dangerous? Incel ideology has inspired 16 crazy-ass men to kill people. Elliot Roger, who we spoke about earlier, killing 6 people and injuring 14 in an attempt to instigate the start of a war on women, he says. For depriving him of sex. What a fucking loser. Roger committed suicide after his killing spree. Alec Manassin wrote to his Facebook, "The incel rebellion has already begun," before killing 10 people and injuring 16. So do incels want sex or do incels want power? Let's be honest, if incels wanted sex, they would consider prostitution, online sexting, or even go above and beyond to legalize all sex work. But they don't. They don't do that. Incels are violent and blindsided misogynists that are obsessed with their hatred of women. If they did care about women, they would not kill them. So, what is misogyny, and isn't it the same thing? So misogyny is a dislike against women. Though misogyny leads to bias, bigotry, and discrimination, it does not always lead to the murder of women. You can find misogyny at work, you can find it just being outside and being a woman. You can find misogyny anywhere. But just because men have a bias of men being better than women does not always mean a man is going to murder you. But though in 2020, 47,000 women and girls were killed worldwide by intimate partners or family members. On average, a woman or a girl is killed by someone in their family every 11 minutes. So, if you think misogyny is something to just fly over your shoulder, I wouldn't when you look at these statistics. So, the incel language, let's talk about it because they have their own. Online incel groups have their own language to categorize common people. So let's learn about it. We have Stacy. Stacy are objects of both desire and ridicule in their world. They are attractive women who are promiscuous and manipulative. So, Stacy's will always choose the Chad. Chad, who we have here, is a sexually successful man, which is the opposite of incel. Incels believe they are genetically inferior to the Chads and don't compare when it comes to their personality and confidence. And I don't blame Stacy for picking Chad because who the fuck wants to date an incel? Incel language may be funny to laugh at, but it supports their us versus them victim mentality. Often believing in the black pill theory, being the idea of sex and attraction is rigged from birth, going back to your genetics, being the reason that you just suck. Shame from incels to incels. Let's talk about that because it's not just us shaming them, it's them shaming each other. Men who seek self-help or positivity in these forums are frowned upon. Anyone who ends successfully sexually and with women are branded as fake cell, which is a fake incel. So basically, if you finally get a girlfriend and finally get out of this horrific mindset, you are shamed, which promotes more hatred toward women, which would keep you from moving out of this horrific mindset, or you just never do it because you believe you can't and the others around you believe you can't, which elongates this violence toward women and this discrimination. But that's your crash course on what incels are. You probably have, as a woman, experience with incels. This is a heterosexual biased violence. So any women out there who have their experience, please let it know in the comments because I know we've all experienced it. There are freaks, you probably see them in movies, TV shows, and in real life. They catcall you, they ask you out, you reject them, you ignore them, and then they start calling you like a whore or a bitch or fat or whatever. What are you gonna do about it? Sleep with them? Obviously not. So, that's your crash course on incels. I don't know if it's a CSM. I gotta look back into it. I'll fix the letters up here. But basically they're reporting that there is a actual large amount of incels online that they fear is becoming a big hatred group on the internet and is actually a threat to society. So if I find out more on that, let's talk about it. But for now, this is your crash course on what is an incel. And hopefully you learned something that you didn't know. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked your crash course on what is an incel and how to basically spot one. Yeah, so you guys can find me on Spotify. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, I will have the Spotify in my description. And if you're listening on Spotify, you can always watch the video version on YouTube if you want to see my cute little face and feel like we're actually on our FaceTime call. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and miss me till then. I am uploading a vlog, which could be before or after this is posted, so hopefully you can see me on my day-to-day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, bitches!